What's up, boys and girls? Lambo here, and this will be the first video on my channel for quite a while, I think. I decided to really try hard YouTube this time and start uploading a lot again. And this video will be for sharing my plans with you guys and hoping for good feedback from you guys, hearing what you guys think I should do for types of videos and what you guys think about my ideas, if you think they're good or bad. But basically my YouTube channel in the past was initially for sub goal videos, so I would have Twitch subscriber goals, and if I would reach them I would do sub goals. Not sub goals, I would do guides usually, right? So I had the inject guide, I had a ZVT overlord speed guide, which is quite old already, I had the 13-12 defense guide. Those were all sub goals from my Twitch. And those are only videos that I can do once, and then I can't do as many of them, right? Because they cover a lot of stuff. So this is not made for constant uploads. This is more of a reward for all the support that I got from Twitch. So I had those. And then once I saw this year, once I saw how successful Hearthstone, how quick he would grow, I was like, you know what? This looks quite cool. It makes a lot of sense. So what I did was I just uploaded some content from my stream, which seemed very low effort and logical to do for me, but that didn't work too well. So it seems like you have to put in a little bit more effort to to make it on YouTube, which makes a lot of sense. I saw a lot of the big streamers just cut their content, what they stream on their Twitch, and upload it, and it seemed very successful. But I think you need to be a little bit bigger, is the thing that I learned in order for that to work. So yeah, what I wanted to do now is, the off season is starting for me, right? There's not that many tournaments left. Well, at this point, there's no tournaments left. The next tournament will be Katowice. So there's a long downtime, which I assume will be filled with some Wardy tournaments and maybe some stay-at-home story cup, stuff like that. But nothing where I need full focus on. So I thought now would be the perfect time to resume my YouTube and really try hard this time. So these are pretty much the ideas that I have written down. The very first video that I'm gonna bring out will be a much requested one. It will be how to play the German taxi. And this will also be part of a series. So the German taxi is a build that I've been asked about a lot because I've made this build more or less recently, and it's a specific build designed to kill Protoss players that are a little bit too greedy with a queen drop. And I will tell you guys exactly how to play it, and that brings me to my first idea, which would be free MMR builds. I might call this free MMR Friday, just so I have the alliteration in there. I'm not sure how important that really is, but for me it sounds a little bit better. Could also just call it free MMR builds and then upload it every time. This would be a series about just getting you guys MMR by learning a certain build that you can do in scenarios where you just need to really execute the build that you learn, and it shouldn't be too hard as well. The taxi build is actually kind of hard to execute properly because you need to learn the early game, and it's only applicable for Stargate. So it will be more of an outlier. The rest of the builds that are gonna come from this series are all gonna be a little bit more easy, to be honest. Or at least most of them should be. So that was my first idea. Then the second one is pretty much the opposite, which is the reactive part on winning MMR. So this is a how to beat series. So for this, I will always pick a specific strategy that your opponents will do, where I will talk about how you recognize the strategy, and then how to deal with it perfectly in order to either win the game straight up or at least get ahead. So I will talk about stuff like how to deal with Immortal all-ins or Blink all-ins, or people that rush Sky Toss, how to defend 12 pool properly, how to defend proxy 2 Rex, proxy 3 Rex, proxy 4 Rex. Those should all be different videos, to be honest, because those are quite hard to defend. But I think you get the idea, right? So we will have the free MMR builds, so the ones you execute yourself, and then how to beat, the one where you react to what your opponent does. Then the next thing I wrote down was Archon content. So once a week I wanted to put Archon content out, but to be honest, I'm not sure if that's realistic to always get people together to play Archon. I know pretty much all the pros that I know, like all my friends, they enjoy playing Archon mode, but it's not always easy to get everyone together at the same time to play Archon. So I might need to reconsider this, but I really would like to bring out some Archon content, just casual, where you guys can see me play with my buddies on Discord. We might all be on the same Discord or be split up and be a little bit more tryhard about it. But that's one thing that I think the StarCraft community lacks, which is just Archon content in general. Wardy is going to put out an Archon tournament soon, which will be pretty much the first one since a very long time, I think. So yeah, that was one. Then the next idea I've written down, this is a list that I made quite a while ago, was StarCraft Jeopardy. Now, Artosis kind of did that already. I've written this down before I saw him do it, so I might not do that exactly, but I am planning on doing a game show or a quiz type series, because I think that hasn't really been done before in StarCraft, and I think that's really cool. I think there's a lot of stuff you can talk about in StarCraft, so not a talk show, but instead a quiz show or something of that sort. I think that would be really cool. I still need to obviously... I would need to get graphics for this, and I would need to know how to produce that kind of stuff. I have pretty much no experience, not only in editing, but also in all the other things that makes videos good. So that one's probably going to be the hardest for me to do. But yeah, that was one of the ideas. Then the next two ideas will have to do with my Twitch content. Every Thursday on my Twitch, many of you guys will know that I'm gonna have tryhard Thursdays, which means that I won't commentate my games. I'm gonna try to play the best of my ability. So I always tell my thought process afterwards, and I will try to answer questions afterwards on Twitch. But what I thought is I take the tryhard Thursday game of the day, and I will pick it apart and talk about what exactly my thoughts were during the game at which stages. So you guys would see a playthrough, and then afterwards me commentating the game exactly. So that was one of my ideas. Then the next one would be, I have also on my Twitch stream, on Tuesdays, we have the Pepega Tuesday. It's initially I called this Newbie Tuesday, but that's kind of taken by day 9. so I renamed it to Pepega Tuesday, which is a Twitch emote, in case you guys are not familiar. And on that day, my subscribers can hand in replays, which I analyze them, and I basically coach them just based off that one replay they send in. So I thought about just cutting that together, because I think a lot of lower level players will have a big benefits from seeing me analyze other low level players' replays, because they will see their own mistakes in them. So that was one idea that I had. Then the next one would be, every week I would analyze one tournament game specifically from both sides, trying to figure out why the game went the way it did. What were both players thinking? Why did they do, like why basically did they choose their strategies or their moves, IME movement, different reactions, all that kind of stuff. So just basically a specific look at tournament game analysis, where I don't just cast through the replay, but I look at it very, very slowly, and I go through it one by one. And then there are two more things that I thought about, which would be extra videos, which wouldn't be weekly or anything, but more so rare extra videos on top of that. So the first thing would be something called Zerg Academy. Sometimes when I watch the Pepega Tuesday replays, or even when I coached Tyson the other day, I basically just backseat gamed him together with Rainer, in case you haven't watched that video. It was a lot of fun. I sometimes notice things that are wrong with the way lower level players play. And then I think I can make good videos about that, where I teach you guys on how to fix these mistakes and how you guys improve. So for example, when I was watching Harsem, I realized that he has no clue how to manage his economy, because with Protoss it's a little bit easier than with Zerg. So he would send drones from the main to the third, from the third to the natural, from the natural back to the main, and then from the drones from the third would get right into the gas from the main that he's taking, and it was driving me crazy. So for example, economic management, right? Or another idea that I had about the Zerg Academy would be Zerg Rhythm, where very often I explain about the rhythm that you should have as a Zerg player, where you inject and then you spread creep, and then everyone can have his own rhythm, but I think it's important to develop one. So videos like that. I don't think I can come up with a video every single week, but maybe that could be a monthly thing, or maybe even more rare, because I'm not that in touch with the super low level players, but I would like to aim some content at them as well, to help out the below masters players pretty much. So yeah, that was one idea. And then the other rare, on a rare occasion, I think I will also upload sub-goal videos, which will be actual guides. So for example, the big ones, ZVP early game, ZVT early game, and ZVZ early game, and then also other guides that are longer, so these will be longer videos. This will have nothing really to do with YouTube. This will just be me hitting my actual sub goals on Twitch and then making videos because of it. So those are the things that I have written down myself. These are the things that I could come up with. Now, I have to admit that I'm not the most creative. So if you guys have any ideas yourself, this will be the perfect time to just write it in the comments before I start with all of this. To tell me what you guys would like to see. Anything from entertaining to educational would be very appreciated, to be honest. And if you guys don't like any of the ideas that I've had and you're like, okay, I wouldn't watch that, I would also love to hear that, because I don't want to start with something that won't end up being successful. So yeah, feedback will be very much so appreciated. And that's it for this video. As I said, just a short video to tell you guys what is about to come, so you guys can get hyped, so you guys can start pressing that subscribe button, which I never even talked about, because so far I haven't really taken YouTube series ever, but I heard it helps. So if you guys are excited for the videos and you always want to get notifications or see them on your YouTube front page, make sure to subscribe. And what do they always say? Click the bell, the notification. And I will see you guys in the next video, which will be the taxi video coming up soon. Bye bye, guys.